Welcome to Tableplant Podcast.
Okay, hello. Welcome to everyone watching and listening. This is the third episode in a series of podcasts. My name is Polly, and I'm a third-year student in graphic design rnhem.
And my name is Merel, and I am a second year student, also here at Graphic Design rnhem. And the guests who are invited for today are Juuke Schoorl and Yvette Jacobs. A very warm welcome.
Thank you.
And we will now introduce you guys a bit. We looked up some facts about you.
So Juuke, you studied graphic design here in Artes.
Yeah.
Then you switched and graduated with photography at the Royal Academy of Art in The Hague. You're a technical instructor at Artes for 3 years and 10 months already. And
That's true.
Yes.
Nice checking.
So for our listeners who don't know yet, your photography studio is downstairs,
Yeah.
and they can always go there and use you, use your knowledge. And you're a freelance photographer since 2014. You're running your own studio in Arnhem. They can check your stuff on your website, juuke.nl. And you often collaborate with your partner, Frank Koopman.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And then Yvette. Yvette has also studied here at Artes from 2006 until 2010. And then she worked at the Design Academy of Eindhoven for 1 year and 1 month. And now she's very specialized in screen printing, bookbinding, liquid plastics, and ceramics. And you can find her in the workshop located at the end of the Rietveld building in 1.13. And you're also very active on Instagram, we saw, with 491 followers and 823 following. And you also love cooking and baking, and you are a fan of Adele's music.
Yeah.
And you also really like to do origami and writing. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
I think you covered it
Yeah,
all.
yeah, you did check my
Really
research.
well. Yeah, really well. Yeah,
We'll
it
start
was.
with the first question. How did you guys end up here?
Well, here at school, like you said, I started here at graphic design. I think it was 2007. I already did for 1 year at the Art Academy in Maastricht, but that wasn't really my school. And when I came here for the open day, it was, well, love at first sight. It was at one moment it was, I felt like home. And same also when I came, when I had to go to The Hague, because unfortunately we don't have a photography department over here. I always, Artes was always my first choice. So I was really happy that that the job opportunity came along, and I'm now here again. So that's why.
Yeah, I started in Arnhem at the HOM. I did industrial product design there. It wasn't my cup of tea. The design part was fine, but math and mechanical math and it was just too much for me. So they told me, why not look at Artes? Maybe it's something for you. And I thought, yeah, check it out. And it's the same feeling that you had. It was like coming home in a sense. I also looked at the Design Academy, which felt too much like a factory to me. And I checked the HKU in Utrecht. But this was definitely my first choice, and then I got accepted, so that was pretty cool. So product design, 4 years, graduated, and a year later I started here at the ceramics department with my colleague Inge. So she basically called me up and said, do you want to work here? I said, yeah, sure. All right, you're hired. And that's basically how it went. So I just dove in, and gradually the job became a little bigger, and now I'm working here for 3 days.
And how do you know each other? From school or when you started?
No, I think from here. Yeah,
From here,
yeah.
we knew each other
yeah,
a
exactly.
little,
I
but
think
not
you started 1 year above me, so I knew your face, but I don't think we didn't met or.
No, we really met here, and we did a study together, like a course to be to become better teachers, basically.
Kind of communication course.
And that was really nice.
Yeah,
we really got
really
to know
nice.
each other really well over that period of time. And we became friends, basically. So.
And what did you want to become when you were younger? Were you always looking for this kind of job, or something completely different? The first thing you remember?
Maybe superhero was my first option. Yeah. I always knew I had to do something practical. What that would be, I started in Schoorl at CBOP, MBO. It was really practical. I learned how to paint, basically what a painter does. So I had internships on several businesses, and I thought, well, this is going to be it. I'm going to be a painter or something practical. And then I found out I had a little bit more to do, so I wanted to study a little bit more. And then I became what it became. It's not the intention to be the world top designer or something. It has to suit you a little, I think. I'm working here with all the designers who are becoming who they are is really inspiring. So that's, for now it's dream job.
Yeah, same for me. But what I wanted to do when I was younger, the two things I do remember, I think the first one was to be an archaeologist. Yeah, that one. I just love to search details in the soil and just clean things and find something from out of history. So I thought that was amazing. I think I saw a documentary on the television when I was small. But then my parents said, but you can't make money with that. And I'm from an art family, so that was kind of a weird thing to say. But I think later on I wanted to go into theater. But I ended up, to professionalizing my first passion, which was photography. And I'm really happy with it. And also the combination with working here with, like you said, young, creative people, it also fulfills my social needs, I think. I really like the social communication with the students. So now for me at this moment it's same also dream job.
But I would like to continue more on that because you also mentioned the students, and I think we had like a question about students. What do you most enjoy about working with students, and how is it working with people from different departments? But because it's not only about graphic design department, but also fashion and product.
I think I really like the different kind of visions because every department has their own vision and their own knowledge, and also what they take with them already in their inspiration. So I really like the diversity of that. And also I really love seeing the changes which the students go through in the years. So the first year is totally different when they come in, and also the second year and the third year, but especially also the fourth year, how you see them grow and how you can be part of that. That's amazing. That's really, I love that.
Same. But no question is the same. So every day something new. Could be super practical, like making your product and making a mold and doing everything step by step. But it can also be something really experimental. So that's always really nice to go along with the student and talk about it and making sure stuff works, basically. But also learning. We learn a lot from your experiments. We'll take it in and we can teach it to others again at a later time. So that's really nice. And a lot of the time stuff goes really well and stuff works and it succeeds, and in other times it doesn't. But that's also something to take in, always something to talk about, because why didn't it work? And it's always nice to ask a lot of questions so you can keep the conversation going and keeps the mind active on what you as a student, you guys as students are doing. So that's really nice. It's a constant conversation we have with each other, and we do it with the student, but we do it with colleagues as well. And what do you think? And do you know something else? Or it's constant, and that's really nice.
And as you said, you noticed quite a difference between first years and the other years. How did you experience your first year, and especially this question is about your intake. How did you experience your intake conversation, portfolio on our test?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Me too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It was. They switched over because product design it used to be 2 days, and they switched it to 1 day. So in the morning you had like a practical assignment. You had to make something right then and there, and in the afternoon was your portfolio meeting. Really nervous. I thought that everyone around me did so much better than me. I thought, oh my god, I'm never getting in. It's gonna be a disaster. And when I had my portfolio talk, it was really nice. I had a really nice conversation. It was with Sander, who I work with now, and with Margriet, who used to be the philosophy teacher. It was such a nice conversation. I got to know them a little, and they got to know me a little, and then I got through. I was really happy.
No, same for me.
Yeah.
It was also, I don't know, it was or 1 day with the morning and the afternoon, or it was 2 mornings, I don't know exactly. But I do remember also, well, there's a practical part and a portfolio part. And during the practical part, the other people were like, yeah, they were showing off their knowledge about fonts. So about the Georgia, the Universal, and I was like, what? I've never heard of those. So no, I was also very uncomfortable with it, but I think a lot of people can relate in that moment. And during the portfolio, I was with Gerard Schilder. He's not a tutor anymore. He retired a few years ago. And I think the first thing he asked me was, why don't you go study photography? And I was like, no, I want graphic design because, well, I don't know what I said anymore. At the end, he already saw my love for photography in my portfolio, and that was also what I found out here during my stay. It was a weird day, but a good day.
Yeah.
Let's see, next question is for you, Juuke.
Yeah.
We saw you switch studies at some point from graphic design to photography. Why that, you already started talking about it?
Yeah, I think when I started to study here, I was quite naive, I think. Also, well, quite young. I think I was 17, just 18. And the picture I had about graphic design was, I think I always loved the posters and front of books. And I was like, now I can see it was more about the picture, an image in mind that people who make those should do, and the photo and the typography and the layout and everything around it. And that was something which you saw here at the open day. And later on I noticed, okay, so the graphic design is also more about photography than I want, because I wasn't really that into typography, but I was more in the image making. So that was something which I found out here. That was why I switched.
Next question is, what is the role of photography or arts and crafts disciplines in modern day graphic design? How can students connect the workshops to assignments, for example?
Well, in the ceramics workshop lately, I think last 2 or 3 years probably, the graphic design students are coming in a little bit more to explore the possibilities in looking beyond working on paper, which is very interesting because it gives you another world of material to design in, to think in. You see a shift in it. So there are a couple of students who really work with their hands with clay and making big slabs and then projecting images and their own writing upon it, and really, there's a couple of students now working from graphic design working with us as well. And we also have the liquid plastic workshop there. That's something that's being explored as well.
You maybe have an example of a project or 3D thinking?
Yeah, well, some graduated this year. Her main object was around
A ball?
sphere, yeah. And that was her starting point, and she just started to work on the pottery wheel, just making spheres, cylinders, shapes, and her graduation project existed out of a beautifully made book, some images who had the round circle in it too, and then really big assembly of all the things she turned on the pottery wheel. She really had to learn it, and it became a big part of her graduation. So that's totally different from what you might see in graphic design graduations before that. The year before that, there was someone who was working with clay and transfers with images she made herself and stories she made, and it all connected. And she made also really big work. So when you do it good. So yeah, that's one example. It could be really small and work its way up, but yeah, you're really trying to do your best in finding other ways in making your designs, basically, in material. I mean.
Interesting. We really see a shift from 2D to 3D at the same time.
Yeah.
The next question is, what is it like to have such a diverse combination of art field disciplines in one school? I think we also already kind of talked about it, but how does it feel? Because I also feel like that there's not much collaboration between departments, but you see the people working from different departments and.
Yeah, I think also what Yvette already said, for us, at least for me, it's because it's that diverse. Every day is different, and every day is a challenge, and every question is a challenge where you can think about, because you know the different departments and also the way they look, but you also see other students doing in a different way. You can help them and show a different kind of perspective on things, and I think that's really nice of our job, because we hang in between. We don't belong to a department, and we're not teachers, so we're a little bit closer to the students, so we can find different entries to students. I think that's the main thing I really like about where we stand.
Yeah. Plus, there are a little bit more collaborations between the different departments, so that's nice to see.
Yeah.
And because we have so much, you might say the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Anything you can think of, I think we can make it here. It's buildable. There's always an answer. There's always a solution. So that's, I think, it's really nice to learn about different skills, and maybe you probably didn't think of it, but because you came to talk with one of us, whoever it is, you might find out I don't need to be in the wood workshop, I need to go to the clay workshop, because there my idea can find that 3D purpose, or I can mix genres, or I can get someone from fashion design to help me with my idea. So I think the collaboration between the departments should be a little bit more. It's a little difficult now, of course, in this time, but I think you can learn a lot from each other, and yeah, that's valuable, I think. Yeah.
You guys have talked about things that inspire you about Artes and that you like, but if you could improve something about Artes, what would it be?
Let's focus on when it's a normal time. It has a really open structure. As Juuke said, the workshops don't belong to anyone than the workshop itself. So you can move freely, you can use anything you want. You can learn anything you want if you have the time. Maybe a workshop could be a little bit open a little bit longer, like in the evenings, because your schedules are jam-packed and you're in class all day, and when you want to do something you have to come by and do it really fast, and then it almost never ends in a well, it ends somewhere, but it never ends into the result you might want or wish for. And I think what I just said, the collaborations between departments could be really nice. What you love, what you do, and you can inspire others with that passion you have.
Yeah, I think when I was studying here, at least for the first year, the introduction was really about mixing everybody. I don't know, I think it's a little bit less at this moment, but I remember that I made so much contacts with people which otherwise wouldn't be possible. So the combination of how students can help students from different departments with their vision and their knowledge, I think there lies something to focus on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So basically, we need a little bit more time and more collaborations.
And also, I think what's really important, and that's always the people who are in the fourth year or already graduated and they come back for, well, just to say hi. They always say, I wish I had more time in the workshops and I did more experimentations, and now I know that you have so much possibilities here, and it's such a shame that you don't have the time or the focus or sometimes the awareness of what is here, what you can do. So yeah.
Next question. What was your worst subject at Artes?
I had one assignment. We had to make a chair and it had to be lightweight, and I struggled with it so much. I could not get it together, and the conversation with the teacher at that time, we didn't click at all. So our conversations never, it was always my word over his word, and I always felt like I was talking to a wall, and he probably thought the same, so there was no connection. That was probably my worst ever assignment. Yeah, it really was. I could not, I just couldn't. It didn't work for me at all. Didn't work for me. No.
How did it end up?
Well, at the end I made a chair, which I thought was great. It was lightweight, it fit, it ticked all the boxes. It was a really good assignment in that way. They had a few boxes that need to be ticked, and I ticked them all. So I thought, well, this eventually went really well. Well, he did not think so. So I did not pass that assignment, and I had to do something else in the summer to get my grade up. So that was his last year in the department, so he never taught again after that, and I was so thankful. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me quite similar, but it was an assignment, I think it was the second year, And also, I didn't connect with the teacher that good. We had just different kinds of ways of thinking about the stuff. I think the assignment was everybody received an image, so, and we had to make a typographic representation of it. So you had to interpret. Oh, that's a hard word. Interpret it in a typographer way. And well, like I already told you guys, I'm the other way around. Typography is not my thing, and I just struggled. And in the end, I think I received an okay, but it was horrible. It was a horrible way. Yeah. And we had a lot of difficult discussions with the teacher.
Yeah. Next question is from the section personal. This one is about nature, because we both saw that you guys are inspired by nature a lot. You mentioned the butterfly project by Damien Hirst. And you also mentioned that you really are inspired by growing up in nature, the forest. Yeah. Can you tell us about a place in nature you are inspired by or that you go to? In the Netherlands or maybe somewhere else?
For me, it's not quite specific. For me, it's everywhere. It's even on my balcony. Like you already mentioned, I grew up in the middle of a forest in an old factory building, which was really amazing. So that's always a special place for me. It's in the middle of, it's a protected nature area. So yeah, that's something I always go back to, especially around autumn. I love autumn. Autumn is the best time of year for me. So that's quite special, but inspiration-wise, it's everywhere. It doesn't matter where. For me, it's always in small things.
And when you go to the nature area, do you like to walk or maybe listen to music, or
no
do you
music.
take your camera with you, or?
No. Well, I always have a camera with me. But those moments I don't want to be disturbed by anything. So no phone, no camera, no music, nothing. No, just total
meditation.
Serenity.
Yeah, it's not really meditation. It's just no distractions. Yeah, no extras. Just basic.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not a really nature kind of person. I have 2 little kids, so we go walking a lot. 2 weeks back, the meadow was in bloom. I don't know, the hay. I don't know what the correct word for it is, but it was all purple and beautiful. And at that times of the year, when spring just begins and it's cool and crispy outside, you just go outside. And the same goes for autumn. It's cool out, everything changes color-wise. It's beautiful, and it's not like I get my inspiration from that per se, but it's just maybe what you said, like a state of mind. You go out, you leave the city behind, you don't take your phone, you leave it in the car and just walk and see and smell and touch a lot, because kids touch a lot. No, not that, something like that. It is an inspiration, but it's not like my main, my biggest inspiration. But I do love it. You can almost relate to it, because you change as the weather change. You put up thicker clothes, and warm and cold, and that's something I enjoy feeling and experiencing. Nature with bugs and things I do not like.
But in contrast, your favorite work you talked about, the butterfly project, which is a really colorful artwork. Yeah. That is kind of also about bugs and nature in a way.
Yeah, for sure. It's about butterflies. Yeah, as I said, I dream about that piece of work. I saw his exhibition in London. I knew it was in the Tate Museum in London, and I thought, I don't have the time. I don't know when I should go. And at the very last minute, I thought, I'm just going. I booked a plane ticket, and I just went and I saw it, and I was amazed. He makes it a little smaller. He takes it out of nature, basically, because he grows his own butterflies. He had one hall in the museum which he turned into a butterfly garden in the middle of the museum where you can never hang any picture ever again. So he just destroyed that and put plants in, and there were butterflies everywhere, and then in the next room you saw the artwork of it. Basically he made his own material, but his own natural material, and he used that to make the pictures. Yeah, it was truly fascinating. And I do not like bugs, but I love butterflies.
And do you have any other artists for both of you that inspire you, or favorite works?
I really love Olafur Eliasson. Also because, well, I don't know if you are familiar with his work, but he makes installations about nature, only he grabs it and creates it also, well, like you said, I don't know the piece, but he shifts the context of nature and creates it in a combination with nature and artificial modern techniques. He captures nature experiences. Frankly, I'm really jealous about. And I had quite a similar experience like you just told about Birminghurst last summer. I forgot from who the piece was, but it was Museum Louisiana next to Copenhagen in Denmark. And it's kind of a Krøller-Møller museum, but it's way bigger and way prettier. It's just an amazing area. And they had one area, and it was a really big hall, and I entered from upstairs. I think it was about 20 video screens next to each other, only from portraits from people like this, who were singing the same song, but not with each other. So everybody was singing their own, well, not for themselves, but not with the others around them. And everybody put their own emotion into it. It looked like a choir, but with individual people with their own feelings. And I think the piece was the first album of John Lennon, so it was quite a long piece if you want to see everything. I love music. I also sing in a choir myself. I love to sing, like probably most students here know.
If you don't know the song, ask you. She'll know. You just have to go, and she know what song it is. So
yeah, so I was completely overwhelmed by the beauty of it, and I never had that experience before. But I started crying and I kept on crying for an hour. I never had that weird experience. It was so weird. But it was all the things came together: the music, the personal emotions, but also the combination of all those people. And the film was so good, so the lighting was amazing, so you can see all the facial expressions, and therefore it was an insight of somebody's personality. And some people were really introvert, some were really making a theater of it, some were really making a kind of a pose, and some were really shy, but they did the same thing, and it was really amazing to see.
The next question is quite a random break, but what is your biggest fear?
Well, I'm afraid of the dark, so that's something I fear. So I don't like darkness at all, especially when I'm totally alone. It could be as simple as when my kids are in bed and my husband isn't there and I have to climb up the dark stairs up to our bedroom, which is on the top floor. I just feel like, and it's not there, I know it's not there, but I feel it, and I go, and I'm in bed, yeah, so the darkness.
So, what is your most memorable holiday?
I think it's from childhood, probably, when you're young and nothing really matters and you can just lay in the sand and you don't care about the sand, it's just there, and carefree, no worries, enjoying your holiday, which which lasted forever. You thought you'd never have to go back to school ever again. It was so long. And now that you're older, you think, we need some more time. We don't. And when you were young, it was just endless.
Yeah, I really can relate to that. I think my most memorable holiday also is summer holiday. Every summer holiday, my mother and me went to a kind of musical week to make music. And I started that when I was 8, and we just did it for 20 years. I'm still going there, by the way, every year. It's just, but I think one memorable holiday is around 13, 14, and you just had a kind of, you started puberty and everything was, but it is a family week. But we were with a group of also same age horrible people. Well, we're not that horrible, but it's just like a kind of, it felt like freedom during the day, but also during the night, and just exploring. Don't have the cares about which you have a bit more now. And yeah, I think that was quite memorable. And it was a week, but it felt like 2 months. Every day was an adventure on its own. So yeah, I think that.
And besides holidays, the next question is, what is your guilty pleasure?
Ooh, ABBA. No, disco music, yeah, definitely. I love disco music. And glitter. I don't feel really guilty about it. It's just that other people see it as a guilty pleasure. I think that's one thing.
Yeah.
Well, what is your favorite ABBA song?
How's it called?
Sing it.
No.
Jukebox.
No. Well, at this moment, all the ABBA songs are going in my head at the same time.
I'm a superhero, Marvel comic book weirdo, as many people would say. I love superheroes. I even love the new on Amazon, the series The Boys. It's totally anti-superhero, but I still love it. I'm totally into superheroes.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned you have kids. Do you share that with your kids maybe?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. My son is almost 4. He is major fan of Superman. Spider-Man. Well, Superman too, but Spider-Man is way up there. And my daughter, and it's also a little bit Star Wars, and my daughter is 1.5 and she can say Darth Vader.
Really?
So, yeah, Darth Vader, she says. So yeah, we kind of indoctrinate them a little bit.
Talking about heroes, for Yvette, you followed a pottery course last year. What was the thing that you made that you're most proud of and happy with?
Well, I started the course and I only had 3 hours of churning under my belt. So I was a total rookie. I didn't know anything. So I wasn't quite sure if I should go, because they advertised the course as being advanced. So I was like, should I go? And yeah, of course, Inge said, go and we'll see what happens. And okay, we'll see what happens. And the first 3 tries, it was just nothing. And the teacher looked at me like, And I thought, I'm going to be the loser of the class. This is going to be horrible. But later on, I got it and it worked. So the first thing I made that made any sense at all, and it was nothing like all the others made, but that's usually the case with me. It was just a really small bowl, and I flipped over the top part and it had a small hole. It was just a really pretty looking kind of bowl / face / whatever you see in it. So yeah, I was proud that it worked, that it could get the clay to go where I wanted it to go. So and after that I made lots of hours trying it and different types of clay, and I learned it a little bit better. So yeah, and it was a really nice course. The teacher who did it, she could explain it really well, technical parts in the sense of how basically to hold your hands and how to do it, and so I learned a lot. Yeah. So now we can teach it to you guys or whoever wants to. So that's nice.
The next question is aimed at Juuke from students. What is your one golden tip for setting up a shoot?
Always start with one light. First, always start with one light, because you can and take your time around the light, because it can be quite overwhelming, all the lights and all the equipment if you start. And I also, when I was learning photography, I thought, I have to just use everything which is there, because then it's good. And then you don't have control and you don't understand it, and you're like, what is happening? It's not looking like I want it to be. And just start really easy. And with one light, even with a reflection screen, you can make amazing photos. So take it simple. Yeah, that's my golden tip. Yeah. And ask us to help you. Yeah. Also
Rule one.
Ask us. We're happy to help. Really happy to help.
Do students ever annoy you?
Oh yes, they do, and we'll let them know. Well, I'll let them know, but it's more in a joking kind of way. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work that well. So yeah, it could create conflict is a big word. It can create a little where you don't understand each other quite well. But it's nice. It's part of studying as well. So, but I think some students are annoyed by me as well. So it's two-way street. Yeah. But it happens. Yeah.
And the next question is, if you could change your practice for one day, what would it look like, or how would it be?
Yeah, I think I would want to be a musical star. Yeah, theater. Yeah, sing, dance, clothes. Music, yeah.
It sounds weird, but for me it's the same.
Really?
I'm not musical at all. I don't play any instrument. I cannot sing. I sometimes think I do, but then my daughter says, "Don't sing." And then I think, okay. So if I could sing like Adele for one day, I would be happy.
And Yvette, what's your favorite Adele song?
Make You Feel My Love.
That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there are lots of songs, but in the beginning, like the second album or something. And I saw her twice. I went to a concert in Paradiso, which was awesome because it was really small. There wasn't too many people, so I could just almost touch her. And once in Ahoy, I think that was a little bit bigger, but great. I have a t-shirt and everything.
Which you wear all the time.
Here, but it's mainly here.
And it was really amazing when she was pregnant of the second child. It was Adele stretched out.
Yeah, she had a really big face. Yeah,
that was amazing.
Yeah.
Is love something easy or something complicated?
Sorry, something easy or something complicated?
Love, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was complicated, always, and really corny, but with the right person, it's easy. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I think it's a great answer.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
And then the final question is, what can we expect from you in the future?
Collaboration.
Definitely. Which is
We're
already starting.
Which is already starting.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're both really trying to make this place a better place. Trying to learn everything we can. I can. But yeah, the future is there. You don't know what it will hold. So maybe we're here for a couple of years. Maybe somewhere else. Yeah, let's see what it brings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can plan it that well. It's just have a goal and go for it. That's always something that can make you happy, I think.
Well, different parts. We're now exploring several things. So also combination with, of course, our specialism, so photography and ceramics and what's in the workshop. But we're also now combining some stuff to make the workshops more visible for you guys, but also in a visual way.
Yeah, well, the idea is to make a book together.
Yeah.
And we always we talk, we make appointments with each other and talk about everything that's going on. So design-wise, what's your plan? What are you gonna do? Oh, I like this. Is it possible? Well, that's how we try to stay connected with your own work, because when you work here, it's not the only place you work. You work at home, and you're still somewhere the designer.
It's always on and on.
Yeah.
Never stop it.
You have to find a place to put your ideas, big or small. Right now still small, but getting a little bit bigger. So yeah, that's something we discuss regularly with each other, which is really nice. Yeah. Hopefully, maybe, we don't know, in the future, something.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly what it is.
No, but it's definitely going to be
Yeah.
something.
So besides collaboration in school, there's also collaboration between
Yeah,
workshops.
personal level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also workshops.
Well, thank you so much for this interview. I think we really want to say that you guys are very approachable, nice people, and we would really recommend going to your workshops.
Yes, please
Cool.
do.
Yeah, nice to hear.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Sure.
inviting us as well.
Yeah.
It's also a really compliment.
Yeah, really good idea.
Yeah,
Also do it like this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks for listening.